Go to the
Hey,
Hey.
en hulle kom.
Ja,
Moet ek hulle admit of gaan jy?
met all. Ja. Hello, hello, everyone. Please, tonight we need some energy and we want you to talk in the chat bar and encourage all of us that's speaking tonight. We're still waiting for Belle to join us. So it's 8 o'clock, but we're just going to give 1 or 2 more minutes. Oh, there, I see she's here. Hey, bear with me. Okay. Alrighty, well done. Welcome everybody. We are super, super excited to have you on this 500 volume points call tonight. We've got a very, very special guest that's joining us. So I know that a lot of you are shy and you don't like to make a noise, but tonight you've got to be exceptional with us and you must unmute yourselves so that you can please shout and scream and welcome the 3 of us that's going to be sharing our top tips tonight. So please welcome everybody. Karina, SURETHA is also a special guest, and Charmaine. And hi, Belle. Thank you so much for your time, sweetheart. Amanda, Yvette, Serena, Elsa, B, Denise, julle moet raas nou, asseblief. Tasha, Catherine, Ronald, Carol, Umilta, Yuzan, Laverne. Oh my word, let's have a good call. Can we all shout together? Unmute yourselves. Can you unmute yourselves? Can you shout and say, let's go en julle kan maar in Afrikaans ook skree. Ek weet julle skree beter in Afrikaans. For all of us, we're so excited to kick off this call. I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm really so excited to kick off this year with this very special call. The 3 of us are all qualified to go on this EMEA vacation. We are waiting for the company to give us final so that we can go crazy on social media. But Belle has already confirmed long time ago. But tonight we thought we want to start first with our new active world team this year in 2023, actually last year. Very new in the business and so dynamic to have started her business off and really be on the stage. I don't know how many times last year, SURETHA. So
3 times.
What is happening? Why is this slide blank now? Oh, you know, dan nou weer gespring. Okay, it looks like it jumped again. I'm on slide 39 of the 30. Okay, SURETHA, jy begin jou storie. Laat ek nou eers weer die screen reg kry.
Kan ek maar begin?
Ja, begin praat sommer dan ek
Okay.
gaan nou jou slides opkry, hoor. Sorry
Yes.
daarvoor.
I'm SURETHA Fourie, a mum of 2 kids and a supportive husband. Without my husband, her life wasn't possible, I think, for me. I live in a very small town, 100 kilometers north from Cape Town, I was a stay-at-home mum, and I was raised my 2 kids, and I was a very involved parent. My family were my life, my pride, and my joy. But when both of them went to Stellenbosch, I start wondering, what is my purpose, my identity outside of being a parent, a taxi driver, and a wife? That is when Herbalife found me, very tired and very overweight. Elda, a friend of mine, also in Herbalife, she's my upline. She saw an ad on Facebook of a fit camp, and we decided to join in, and only for the discount, to do a 10-day challenge and to do the fit camp. There was no intention for me to do the business, only to lose weight. So as you can see on the photos, with great results, I've lost over 20 kilograms in a short period of time. I'm on Herbalife lifestyle for over a year, like a year and a half now, and I feel amazing. I've had my zest for life back, and I think I look 10 years younger than when I started a year and a half ago. Yes, the business opportunity. When the compliments start rolling in, that is when I saw when I start thinking to do the business. At first, only helping my friends and family and the people I know. Herbalife give me the opportunity to help others undergo the same transformation and help them and lead a better life. Herbalife also empowered me to dream bigger and strive for greatness in all aspects of my life. Like I said, I live in a very small town, Maritzburg, but that didn't stop me. Your business is not limited to where you live. Anything is possible if you put your heart in it and work hard to your dreams. Okay, my Herbalife journey started in April of 2022. I signed up in April, went supervisor in July, world team in November in the same year, and active world teams in the last hours of May. What a month. I told Elsa it's not possible for me to go active world team in 2023. I think it's the next year, but she said, believe in yourself and go put a vision for yourself and go all the way for that. And my Herbalife business changed in a month, 2 weeks time. I have 2 girls that was firecrackers in my team, and yes, world team, active world team in May. And with that, I received a check towards my traveling to Krakow. Everything feels so unreal because it happened so fast. My first international event, a dream come true. With qualifying for Active World, I realized how important planning is. If you put your mind to something, have a clear vision, anything is possible. Yes, sometimes things feel it can't happen, but go for it. Keep it simple and go. Plan, and it will happen. Start planning from the beginning. I tell you all this to encourage you and to show you what is possible. To go from distributor to active world team in 1 year. If I can do it, you can too. You must decide what you want out of Herbalife. You must make a decision, get a clear vision and very strong why, and put in the hard work. I think for me, planning. Make sure you understand to count your points. Write them down where you can see him every day, that you can remind yourself what is possible and what you're going for. Maybe you feel it's not possible. Well, that is, you must just work and go every step of the way. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit how I do it. Everyone's journey is different, and you must do what suits you and what's the best for you. My DMO is to make sure to invite to something. A pamper party, a 10-day challenge, a shake party. You can also join a fit camp, or you can start your own. Very important for me is Discover Herbalife once a month, your team Zoom calls, and any Herbalife event. I've started my journey in Herbalife with a 10-day challenge. So that's a big thing in my team. And we love to host shake parties. There's a saying in Herbalife, you must duplicate yourself. My duplication are far better than me. I'm blessed with a strong and driven team. One of the things I learned in my Herbalife journey is to appreciate your team, treat them well, and be there every step of the way. Then I think events is very important. My first event was a game changer for me. I realized the opportunities in Herbalife. Try not to miss out on any event and encourage your team to do the same. Because at events, you gain value, insight, and skills to grow your business. You get motivated and inspired through the success stories. It will boost your belief in your own potential. Events can deepen your and your team's understanding of the Herbalife product and what the great opportunities there are. To attend as a team can strengthen them and create a sense of belonging. Sorry. I think it's very important for the growth in your business to attend events. So lead by example, show the way. And the same with promotions. Go for every promotion, never leave money on the table. I went for every promotion my upline and the company have launched. From the NutriBullet cash promotions to the cruise. I'm so excited for the cruise in Feb, and 2 of my girls also qualified for that. Sorry, Okay. Promotions are there to motivate you, strengthen you, and to show you what are you capable of. So do the same for your team and put out promotions, because they will become your success in Herbalife when they start changing their pins. I want to close with something that touched my heart. And, oh God, sorry. The best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologies, no excuse, no one to lean on, rely on, or to blame. The gift is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. Thank you that I have joined my story, and I hope there's someone out there that can take something from that.
Well done, sURETHA, and all in the English language. So well done. We are so
Thanks.
proud of you, and well done. Really, really great tips, and appreciate it so much. I'm going to ask Belle, you want to share your own screen, girl? I'm going to stop the share on my side. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
So I would love to introduce Belle. I'm just going to stop the share here, Belle. She is absolutely a dynamo. The first time that I saw on stage at age 18, I think it was here in Cape Town. And I just saw this young girl, and she was just cooking, and within a very short time, really, blew our socks off when I saw the stuff that she was doing, and her confidence, her stature, the way she carried herself, and how she built her business with a whole group of young people just made us so proud. And Belle, this year again, being in the top recruiters list, always up front there, and just seeing your team sometimes on stage, they are a complete duplicate of you. So ons is baie trots op jou, and thank you for taking time out tonight to share your gems with us. So over to you. You can share your screen.
Oh, thank you so much, Elsa. Can you guys hear me properly?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Elsa and SURETHA. What an incredible slot and great tips that you gave us and just all the nuggets. So thank you so much for that. I'm just going to share quickly with you guys. Let it just load. There we go. Okay, so I'm very excited, everybody. I'm Belle. I'm 24 years old. I keep wanting to say 23, but I just had my birthday beginning of January. So I'm 24 years old. I'm from Pretoria, and I am Global Expansion Team 25. I've been with Herbalife now for 5 years. So I started the business when I just turned 19. And at the time, we were living with my stepdad, and we were very reliant on him and very reliant on everything that he was actually paying, and he was paying our rent and stuff like that. And my life drastically changed when my mom got breast cancer, and she's okay now, and she's in remission, and she's fine. God healed her, so it's great. But she got breast cancer. My stepdad had an affair, long story short, and we had no place to live. And so in a week, within, in that week, I had to actually find a way to get us a house. My mom is in the hospital. My sister is like 16 years old, and I'm this just turned 19-year-old kid, and I have to find us a place to live. It was quite extreme. At the time, I was still studying, and I was trying to just find that extra 2,500 rand to pay for my studies. So when I started with Herbalife, I actually, this only happened 4 months into my journey. So when I got started, I was only there for the products, there for the extra 2,000 rand a month. So I got onto the products. I started using the shake as pudding, actually. I thought it was pudding. And actually that just caused a little bit of weight gain, but that's fine. And so then at some point I was just really skinny fat, very insecure, very bloated, as you can see as well. And I just had very low confidence, no energy. So I got onto the products, everything improved. I've lost 13% body fat, gained 7 kilograms of lean muscle in a few months. I looked better than ever. And now, I mean, I've had a 6-pack every day for the past 5 years. And that's just incredible for me, how Herbalife has given me not just, the body, but the body consistently, and the body without having to go to extreme measures, because at some point I was starving myself, and I was binge eating, and I was going to the gym 3 times a day to try and get into shape. And, on Herbalife, that's just not a reality. So very, very grateful for the product. So I fell in love with them. And as a result, I made 2,500 rand in my first month. That was fine, because that's all I needed. I needed 2,500 rand, and I thought I was going to become a lawyer. Second month, I just shared my results, and then I made 11,000 rand. And I thought, oh my word, is it that easy? Do I just share my results and I can make all these sales and all this profit? And so I went into my third month, did some extra work, made 22,000 rand. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I can just keep doubling my income. So that got me really excited, and it got me sort of just thinking maybe I could do Herbalife for a living, Because at the time, I mean, I didn't have a degree or anything, so it was very difficult to find a job. And when it all happened and my mom got cancer, my stepdad left us, which was just my 4th month in Herbalife. Like I said, we had a week. I said to my stepdad, I just need some time. I just need this month, and I just need you to give me 3 weeks to find us a place, because just the moving process alone, I had to do by myself. So it was really hectic. And so I always want to cry when I tell this. I'm going to try not to cry. I need to learn not to cry every time I tell my story. But I remember my mom was in the hospital just after her operation and getting chemo and everything. And I remember she was so stressed about the situation, which of course, understandably, and she never deserved any of it. But she was so stressed, I remember, and she was so worried about us. And I remember I worked so hard that month, guys, and I don't recommend this, but I didn't sleep. I worked every night. I slept 1 or 2 hours a night. I did everything I could to save my family. And I thank God every day for this opportunity, because if it wasn't for Herbalife, we would have really been on the streets. And it just hits me every time I think about it. And so I got started, really worked, really hustled, and I made 55,000 rand that month. And I mean, 4 months into business, I did my 10,000 volume points. I was a world team member. And I rushed to hospital. The second I counted my profit and got a check, and I was like, oh my word, I can save us. I went to my mom and I just said to her, Mom, don't worry, I've got us. Like, I made 55,000 rand. I'm going to get us a house. It's okay. Like, you can relax, you can breathe. And that was like, not going to cry. That was the best thing, because taking that weight off of her shoulders and just seeing the way her face lit up when I said that was the best thing ever. And it's something I will never in my life, I will never forget that. And just going to my sister, because my sister was concerned she wasn't going to be able to finish school, and just going to her and saying, I'm going to pay your school fees. I'm going to get you through grade 11 and matric, and don't worry, like, you're going to get your matric, you're going to finish. I paid her school fees, and now she's studying psychology. And it's incredible how Herbalife has just changed our life. So I got my degree now, BCom business management degree. It's completely useless. I love Herbalife, I don't need it, but I got it because I started and already paid a lot of it. So got my degree. I have no student debt, like absolutely no student debt. I have nothing, that I owe. Like, the only debt I have is a little bit on my car, but it's something like I could just pay off anyway, cash, if I wanted to. I went on, let me show you. Sorry, these are more pictures. This is my car that I bought. Bought it brand new at 19, like 5 months into business. I was so proud of myself, because before this I had the most messed up little Mercedes ever. Used to break down on the side of the road every single day on my way to class. So it was quite bad. So I was so happy when I bought the Volkswagen, and it was like new. It was like the newest model, and everything felt so fancy. Spoken on many stages and stuff, which I also love, because I actually have very bad stage fright and anxiety. But every time I speak on a Herbalife stage, it's like I can do it because I know that it helps somebody, and that really drives me. It's so fun for me to talk on stage knowing that somebody in the audience might get like their aha moment, which I'll share with you guys a bit later. And then this is just my incredible lifestyle. Qualified for the cruise, qualified for the trip to Croatia for this year. Really excited to go on that. Would be my first international trip. I went on 14 vacations this last year. So, 14 vacations just while studying everything as a 23-year-old. Like, I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. The financial freedom, the time freedom, just everything's amazing in this company. And I always tell people that the money's amazing, the lifestyle's amazing, but the people are my favorite part of Herbalife. And the people are also the reason why I stayed when the times got tough, because I did have tough times in my business. And I did have times where I did it to myself, but I personally crashed my entire business and had to rebuild it. But the people kept me in this business like you won't believe. Because they are just the most loving, kind people, and you don't get it anywhere else, So that is my story quickly. I want to give you guys my tips. I want to just share with you guys, and this is not the conventional way of doing it, but I want to tell you why my business dropped. Maybe so that you don't make the same mistakes. Maybe you are making one of them, and maybe it can help you get it back up. Because at 500, doing 500 PPV and qualifying for these types of pools, you are starting to get to a higher leadership level. You are starting to get to a point where you are, you're producing and you're duplicating. And so it's important to know what not to do, but also to know how to actually get out of the situation if you feel like you are a little bit stuck. So firstly, I got very comfortable. For those of you who are at a higher level, maybe that's supervisor, but there's always a comfort level, right? For everyone, it's a different level. Mine is get to 5. It was just the second I hit get to 5, I was only a year into the business, but I got so comfortable with the money and the lifestyle that I stopped doing my own personal production, which is the third point. So I stopped making my own sales. I stopped recruiting my own people. And because of that, everything else kind of crumbled slowly. And I didn't even realize it until it was too late. The second thing was, it was a lack of relationships with my team. So I was in Herbalife for the money, not for the people in the beginning. And that's fine, because it still got me through our desperate times. But what I realized very quickly is that if you don't build a real relationship with somebody in your team, they're going to leave, because people don't stay for money, because you could make money anywhere, right? People stay for loyalty and integrity and love that they can't get in other places. So that's one of the things that I lost as well in my business that caused my business to dip. And then I said the lack of personal production and a lack of follow-up. So if you feel like you're going to follow up tomorrow, you'll do it next week, you'll just, you're delaying your follow-up. I'm one of those people. I don't like follow-up. I never do it. I always try and delay it. And I've really made a point of it this last few months and this last few years to really up my follow-up game, because I've just had a lack in that, and it caused a lot of issues in my business. And then the last thing was, I babied my team a lot. I had nothing to duplicate, no leaders in my team, no people that were really actually capable of going on without me. And so sometimes we love our team so much that we do too much for them, right? And that's also a problem, because I had to realize that the hard way, because when I got sick, I have an autoimmune disease. I got sick at one point, and I went to hospital, and then I dated this horrible guy, which I take full responsibility for because I shouldn't have dated him, but he was very abusive, and I had the severe depression and I couldn't get out of bed in the mornings. And this, my business crumbled because of it, because I had no leaders in my team. I had nobody to keep going when I couldn't. And it was really an issue. So that's something I worked really hard on, is to make sure I create leaders in my team. So from the start, you know, how you are leading people is so important. But on that note, and I'm a bit of a tough love person. I train a little bit like Karen Smith. I just wish I had her energy, but I train very tough love. So just know it comes from a very good place. If I tell you, it's just honesty is necessary. But you can never expect something from your team, or even your customers for that matter, that you are not doing yourself as well, because you will attract who you are. And I love that Elsa, literally when she introduced me, she said, you can see who is in my team just by when they talk on stage, because I duplicate myself. Guys, I never realized that until I saw my own team on stage, and I saw how much I'm duplicating them. And at events, like, people will meet one of my new members and they'll just ask them straight, are you in Belle's team? And they just know because of the way they are and the way they talk. And I find that like a huge compliment, because it means that I'm finally doing something right as a leader, and finally people are duplicating my behaviors. And so it's really important that, and this is the first step, like qualifying for the 500 PPV calls, attending them. That's the first step. You're already on your way, right, to be that leader for your team. And I think that's incredible. So keep doing that, keep qualifying, keep working towards it. Then I want to tell you guys how recruiting changed my business, because there was a point, like I told you guys, where I stopped recruiting. And whether you're doing PCX or whether you're doing recruitment or whatever you are doing in your business, again, everything works if you work, right? But recruiting for me was that thing that I really needed to get it back up. So beginning last year, my volume was at 4,500, and I was stuck there for a very long time. For me, like at one point in my business, I was doing 30,000 volume points in COVID. So when I dropped back down to 2.5 and 3 and 4, like I went into tears. I couldn't believe, because it was, you know, it was my own fault. And so I got stuck on this 4,500 for so long. Didn't know what to do to get out of it. And actually in February, so the 4.5 was January. In February, we went to the Leadership Development Meeting in Cape Town. And actually I was sitting there on my fancy Get to 5 seat, you know, fancy, I'm Get to 5, but I don't do the royalties, but I'm still at the level. I'm sitting there all, you know, in my seat. And then the names come up of the top recruiters, and I'm waiting for mine because I'm used to being at the top of something, and it just doesn't pop up on the list. And number one is my 19-year-old, almost new distributor who just started a few months ago, and that she's the number one recruiter. And I'm so happy for her. Like, I started crying, I'm happy for her. And then afterwards I realized, what am I even doing as a leader? That I'm not even on the top 10, but my distributor is completely outworking me at 19 years old. And I'm sitting in the front rows, but I'm nowhere on any top 10. And I took some serious accountability for that. And I said, it's finished. And I went home after that event in Cape Town, and I recruited like 27 new first line people. And I just decided it's done now. And my volume doubled because of it. Like, immediately went to 8,000 volume points, stayed at 8,000 very consistently, and then now has recently gone to in the 12,000s. So it's been going up every time because of the recruiting, but every month I'm recruiting between 10 and 20 people to make sure that my business keeps rolling. And that's first line. In my team, that has duplicated to the point where there's now 100 to 150 new people in my team every month. And that has duplicated so much, you know, and ultimately, like, that helps you work wide, and it also helps you work deep. And so this is what happened to my volume in 7 months. It was insane. And, you know, as a result of this, what happened to my royalties is that it doubled as well. So I was doing like struggling, like active world team royalties, right, at Get to 5 level. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, because my business crashed, right? I do need to pick it up. And so for me, the main goal was just to get back to the point where I was doing at least Get team, you know, royalties, and I could get it back up. So because of this recruiting, all the volume here produced a lot of new supervisors. The supervisors went to my royalties, and my royalties kept increasing and increasing and increasing, to the point where in 6 months it has doubled to 24,000. Like, that is just the power of recruiting. You just recruit a few people first line, and literally, guys, everything else falls into place. And sometimes we think that recruiting is just recruiting, but it has so much value if you're going to do the numbers right. There's a reason why Mark Hughes always preached 10, 10, 10, because if you're doing 10 new distributors and 10 new customers as often as possible, like, this is what happens. And so if you want to go to the next level and want to up your royalties, then recruiting is the best way to do that. So I hope that gave you some perspective. But also this whole process can only, I hope I'm not going over time. I don't really know when I started, so I'm going to try my best not to talk too much. I just get passionate, guys, and then, you know, I can just go forever. So this can only happen if you recruit first line. So it has to start with you. Your team's not going to recruit on their own. So the first line thing is so important. Second thing is if you teach them to recruit first line. So you're doing it, they're seeing it, and you're teaching them how to get it right. And then all you do is you keep duplicating that. You duplicate it with all of your first line members. They duplicate it to their members, who duplicates it to their members. And then all of a sudden there's 150 new people. You don't know who to talk to. You don't know who they are. Like, it's just you're checking your BizWorks and you're going crazy. You've got all these numbers to save, and it's a great problem to have, right? And then all you do is you level up those members. So everyone goes senior consultant, those people go qualified producer, they go supervisor, and the new batch goes senior consultant. And all you do is you just repeat that all the time. And I called it like batches of distributors, right? So the batch for January, the batch for February, who's going senior consultant in the batch and who's going to the next level. And so it really is just an incredible way, if you repeat that every single month, to really grow your royalties. And so I even remember I called Steve, he's my president's team upline, and I called him and I said, Steve, you need to help me. I've got a big problem. And he goes, what's your problem? I'm like, I have too many members and I don't know who to help. And I have no idea how to manage all these new people. And he said to me, my goodness, Belle, I wish I had that problem. And it made me realize that, you know, if you have problems like that, that is actually where your business really grows the most. So the key is to have so many people that it feels like a problem. I think that's the goal. One sentence changed my entire business. So I want to say this: if you don't have your LBW ticket yet, this might change your mind, right? I don't know. Probably you have all qualified and you've got your tickets, I hope. But if you don't yet, or if your team doesn't yet, tell them the story. I went to the event in LBW. I don't know which year it was. It was just after I hit World Team, and I was really struggling to go active World Team. And in that, it was my first year. So I went from like 60,000 Rand to like 10,000 Rand. I don't know what happened, but it dropped quite a lot. And I was very nervous because I have a family to take care of, and I'm getting stressed. And I phoned Steve, and I'm like complaining to Steve about my volume. So Steve goes, okay, am I seeing you this weekend at the LBW? Luckily for me, there were still tickets, but I said, no, Steve, I'm not going. And he said, why? And I said, no, Steve, I don't have the money. And he said, Belle, you live in Pretoria. If you don't have the money to drive to Johannesburg, then that's exactly why you need to be at this event. And when he said that, it just hit me. And I said to him, well, Steve, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just demotivated. I should just maybe get a job, and I should just be realistic about this whole thing. And Steve said to me, that's fine, get a job, but if you don't attend this event, I'm not mentoring. He just said it just like that. He had no remorse, and I am so thankful for him for that, because if he didn't say that, I wouldn't have gone. Because Steve is like my second dad, and so just for his approval, I went. And I went to that LBW, and I sat there like, you know, not really absorbing anything, because I'm already in a negative state, right? Not absorbing anything. And I remember Sean Lewis went on stage, and he was so funny, so I kind of listened. And then he said one sentence. He said, get your team what they want, and you will always get what you want. And I don't know why, but it just made so much sense that I got to work. 2 months later, I was in my cuts for active World Team, Get Team, and Get 2.5 at the same time. I was triple cutting, going from no royalties to 50,000 volume points. I made 120,000 Rand a month 2 months after that, from 10,000. Guys, I heard one sentence that Steve's been telling me his entire life. He's been telling me this thing for so long. It just clicked when Sean said it. Guys, that is why the events. That is why, because that event changed my whole business, changed my whole life. It transformed everything for me, and the sentence did. And the sentence might have no effect on you, but that's the thing, is you never know what sentence it is, and you never know what event it is either. Because after that, I've never had another light bulb moment like this. I haven't, but I'm going to every single event, because what if I get one, you know? So it's ultimately, it's really, that is the key. So attending the events are really, really important. They don't just say it, like the president's team are right, guys. They know what they're talking about. Like when Elsa tells you to go, you go. It's important. But yeah, anyway, so next I just want to give you some tips on how do you actually recruit well. So firstly, I use social media. I know it's not for everybody. I know it's not, you know, if some people prefer in person. I wish I was great in person like that. But I do that. But let me tell you, everything works if you work. So not all of you have to now go into social media and go crazy. You can if you want, but do what you like, do what makes you comfortable. and do what works for you and what makes you happy. If it's a shake party, if it's a fit club, if it's social media, if it's in person, it doesn't matter. As long as you are working, the numbers will come in. But I use both social media and in person, but mostly social media. And then all I do, guys, there's no special message, there's no special post. It is just a genuine conversation with people. And in that conversation, all I do is I ask them questions about themselves and I listen. And it's like a basic, it's like, yeah, I saw you at the gym, or I see you gym at the same gym as me, or whatever, guys. Like, we used to be in the same university or the same school, and I'll like start a conversation about anything, their dog, their cat, anything. And then I'll just casually, what do you do for a living? Do you enjoy it? Does it make you happy? Like, you know, stuff like that. And then I start to flow the conversation. Eventually people love to complain. People love to complain. So they will go, you know, immediately and go into their problem. And so I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, you know, actually it might have something that will help you. Do you want to take a look at it? Can I get your number? It's like that simple. And then I just give them the business opportunity. So I do it through, I have my own HRM. So I run my own HRM, put them on the HRM, and it's magic from there. And that is how I recruit, and that's how my team recruits. So it's just a conversation. It's very genuine. It's finding a problem, giving the solution. I don't have a little paragraph where I tell people how much money I've made and how they need to join. I don't do that. It just doesn't work for me. So for me, it's really being a real person that really helps. And then knowing my facts as well about the company. Nobody can ask me anything that I can't answer. I know what I'm talking about. I have the confidence, not just in them and in Herbalife, but also in myself as a mentor. And so people can feel that. Nobody wants to sign up with somebody who looks like they don't know what they're doing, right? And nobody wants to sign up with somebody who's inconsistent. That's very important. So if you are going to use social media, or if you are going to talk to them to get your follow-up and everything right, because my two diamonds that I have Lida and I have Ariana. Both Ariana is like 100 points from her world team cut now, 5 months into business. It's crazy. So she's going to do that today, I think, or tomorrow. And Lida is my world team member. Both of them are incredible. And they both watched me for 3 years before they joined. 3 years each. And they only joined because I was so persistent and so consistent with Herbalife that they eventually couldn't help themselves but ask me. And both of them, their lives have completely changed. They've got these terribly sad stories and family stories. And I just, like, they're both 19 years old. Ariana's 19, Lida just turned 20. They're young girls and they've completely changed their life. Ariana bought her first car 2 months into business. It was like the whole, you know, their life just completely changed because of it. And if I wasn't that consistent, they wouldn't have joined, with me at least. So very, very important. And then this one, another tough love. Again, from a good place. Guys, no one is coming to save you. And I say this on every call I speak on, because when I realized I was in a very bad place when my business dipped, and I kept blaming my ex, and I kept blaming my stepdad, and I kept blaming my illness, and I kept blaming the whole world except myself. And there was one morning where I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror and I just said, whose fault is it really that your business crashed? And I was like, it's my own fault. And when I took that accountability, it wasn't easy, guys. I cried that whole day. But when I took the accountability that no one else is responsible for building my royalties, because I used to tell my upline, oh, but my team is useless. My team's so lazy and they don't want to do anything. Like, okay, Belle, maybe they're duplicating you, right? Maybe there's something wrong in your leadership. And so it always started, I always blamed everyone else. The second I took responsibility as a leader and said it starts with me, is when everything changed. Everything changed, guys. I can't even explain to you. Just even my mindset, the way that I feel is so much better since taking accountability. And if there's something wrong in the team, it's my fault. If something happens, it's my fault, right? And I think that's just a really good, powerful thing to have in your life. I'm almost finished, I promise. I'm trying to not make it too. Okay. So just other things I've learned in this time, because obviously I feel like, you know, the down times are the worst because you just really want it to go up all the time. But that's not realistic, and it's not good for you either. Because in the times when your business is down, it's actually the time where you learn the most. And it's actually the time where you grow. And everything I learned then is helping me so much now. So the first thing is to qualify for everything. Okay? Because this is going to be so funny to you guys, but JJ Mikowski, that was at that one event in I think it was Johannesburg, he was there. I was single at the time, I fell dead in love with JJ Mikowski. I don't know why. When he was on that stage on the Friday, I was like, I want to be with a man like this ambition, like the accent, everything. It's just, he's from America. It was the first gala dinner in my life that I didn't qualify for. And I remember everyone was going with JJ to this gala dinner and partying with JJ, and all I freaking wanted was a picture with him. And I didn't qualify for that gala dinner. And now I'm not in love with JJ, but I was so obsessed with him. And the fact that I couldn't go to that gala dinner hurt me to my core. And then I realized it's not about being in love with the guest speaker. It's about the fact that if you don't qualify for things, you miss out on things that other people are getting in terms of leadership, in terms of experience, in terms of just connecting with the top 1%. And so then I decided I will never miss a gala dinner in my life ever again. I will never miss a vacation, because then in that year I was also going on no vacations because I had no money and I was like working all the time. And everyone was going to Thailand and Dominican Republic. And Dominican Republic is like one of my dream places to go. And I qualified the year before that in COVID and I couldn't go, so they paid us out. And then this time when I didn't qualify. And I just wanted to go to Dominican Republic, and everyone came back and shared pictures, and I was watching social media and I wasn't there, and it was the worst. So since then I decided I will qualify for every single thing on the table, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how difficult it seems. There's no negotiation on the qualification. And I think that's really important for everyone if you adopt that mindset. And sURETHA said it as well, so very important. Second thing, be number one at something. Guys, if you are number one just in the highest PPV in your little organization, amazing. If you're a number one recruiter in your little organization and you've only recruited 3 people, but you recruited the most, you're number one at something. And that matters. And it's important. You don't have to be number one in the world and in the country. Aim for that, definitely. But be number one so that your team can see. The difference in respect that I received from my team when I was never on the list compared to when I was number one on the list is absolutely crazy. Like, the way they listen, the way they talk to you, it is so different. And I mean, it's important because I don't respect somebody either who keeps telling me to do all these things and isn't achieving it themselves. So for me, it's like, I have to be that person and I have to show up as a leader. And so just be number one at something. It's going to inspire your team. It's really going to help. And it's really important to set that goal for yourself. Then upfront commitments to events. I don't think I need to say much more about that after my LBW story. You guys are going to all buy tickets after this. And then showing up early, doing what you say you're going to do. This is really like one of, I can't even tell you guys, I'm going through one of the worst times of my life in terms of my health and emotionally, but I'm showing up for every single call. I'm showing up for my team. I'm showing up for my meetings. Whether I want to or not, leadership is just showing up. Whether you feel like it or not, whether you want to do, it's not about your feelings. It's about your integrity, and it's about your own standards for yourself that you set, right? And so even my mom, she's like, you've got so many calls and you're guesting for everyone, and because everyone asked me at once for January. I don't know why, but everyone was putting guest speakers on me in January specifically. So I said yes, and she said to me, like, you just had such a tough week, like maybe you should just cancel some of them. And I said no. I said yes. That's it. It doesn't matter what happens. I could be doing this call from the hospital. Like, I said yes. And I think that's very important. My team, because I do that, my team does the same thing. And if they tell me they're going to do World Team, then they do World Team, right? So that helps a lot. And then respecting your own time, valuing that an hour on TikTok is costing you an hour of money and an hour of success. Value, everything you do for an hour that is not Herbalife and not an income producing activity, you need to weigh up and see if it's worth it or not, right? For your future. And then not making excuses for yourself. That's again the no one's coming to save you mentality. We are so hard on other people. Like, when my team comes with a stupid excuse, I'm always like, oh, this is the most terrible excuse. What does this person think? But when I have the same excuse, then it's okay. I can have it, right? It's valid for me. It's just not valid for my team. Guys, it can't work like that. If an excuse is a bad excuse for someone else, it's also one for you, right? And so we get too lenient with ourselves. And I'm not saying be hard on yourself, because sometimes I am too hard on myself. But I'm saying don't allow that in your business. Don't allow yourself to start giving excuses for why you can't do something. And then the last thing, I think this is my last slide. Yeah, almost. The last one is motivation. Be careful what you duplicate. So people can tell who's in your team. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Sometimes people can tell who's in your team by the bad behavior you are duplicating, and sometimes people can tell because of the good behavior. So become your own perfect distributor. If you could sign up a perfect member, what would they be doing every day? What would they be producing? What would they look like, talk like, act like? And you become that. You become your own perfect distributor, and you will attract those people. You have no idea. You can only attract them when you are worthy of attracting them, right? Okay, and then my motivation, don't fear failure, fear being in the same exact place next year as you are today. 500 PPV is incredible, and I don't know, some of you might do these amazing levels, and Elsa and sURETHA, you guys are all incredible. But if you are in a place right now where you're happy with where you are, great, then you can still be in a better place next year. If you're in a place where you're not happy, and you're looking at your life, and you're looking at your financial situation, and you're looking at your body and your health, and you feel like this is not who you want to be, the only way you can really change that is saying, I'm not going to be this next year. Next year is going to be better. And then making a really big decision to go for that instead of being too scared to go and to fail. And then the other thing is, don't underestimate how much can change in the next few months. I showed you that, guys. Within 6 months, I doubled everything. In fact, my normal volume tripled in 7 months. My royalties doubled. It's possible. In a few months, guys, your whole life can change. Everything can change for you. My check tripled. Everything just went through the roof because I got serious about what I wanted, and I got specific, and I duplicated that. And if you do that, guys, I promise you, life opens up, Herbalife opens up, everything opens up for you. And yeah, so I hope that helped. I don't know if it did. I spoke a bit fast, but I had a lot to share and I had to push it into the time. But yeah, guys, I really hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for having me.
That was absolutely amazing. Can you guys show her appreciation, please? And make a big, big noise. So show some hearts. Thank you for all the gems. And again, I'm so super proud of you. And you know what? To be so honest and really share everything with us. So we really are eternally grateful. And you know, when you give, you will receive. So thank you for giving your time. I'm sure that it will come back to you triple fold. And if any of us at any stage can help, you know, with a call for your team or, you know, something specific, or I can do something, then please, 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 we are all here to help each other. And we are so excited about 2024 and, you know, everything that is ahead of us this year. I think last year, a lot of people had a tough time. You know, Herbalife really worldwide was down. But then again, certain people made decisions last year, and like you, tripled your business, tripled your personal volume, doubled, like more than doubled your royalty in a year when everybody else was, you know, the market and the interest and all the excuses we can find. So thank you for that, and thank you for your honest truth, because sometimes that is exactly what we all need to hear. You know, to really turn our businesses around, because we are personally responsible. So super excited. If you have got other calls and you want to leave, you're welcome obviously to stay for you know, a piece of my training. But if you have another call or you're busy, then we will understand if you need to go. But super, you want to say something?
Oh, sorry, no, I just said thank you so much. I said I'm definitely going to stay for your tips because they are very, very valuable, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. I basically, I hope it didn't jump again. Okay. So as most of you know, we are celebrating actually 30 years this year in the business. And I thought I would share a little bit of our first, say, few years in the business, to just share a bit of that vision. And again, then, you know, what we did last year. But as you know, for all of us, it starts with our result on the products. I was a yo-yo dieter, struggled all my life, really, from a teenager. And so when I met Herbalife, I was weighing 84 kilos, didn't feel good about myself, had lots of little niggly health issues. And so I just love it that I now have a healthy lifestyle and just really enjoy the energy. I'm turning 63 soon. I feel younger than what I did at age 34. And just eternally grateful every day. Say thank you for this wonderful opportunity where we can just feel so absolutely great and then also touch other people's lives. So there you see the kids. The boys were 6 months old. My daughter was 3 when we started. And I had a dream when I fell pregnant with the boys. I cried for a few days and just really wanted to have time with them. And, you know, we always say, Herbalife finds you when you're ready. And, you know, and New Year's Eve, my brother-in-law, Max, showed Elsa myself a video, and he said, this business, he didn't really know much. The guy that signed him up sold him 2 boxes, and he said, you need to sign 1 person before you leave the country. So he showed the video and he said, are you fat? Do you want to lose some weight and make some money? And I said, yes, I want to lose weight, but definitely no time, don't have time. And so here we are now. All those babies are now turning 30. My daughter's turning 33 this year, and she's getting married on Saturday. So we are super blessed and excited for this weekend coming ahead. But we were exceptionally, how can I say, you know, so grateful that we had that time when Mark Hughes was still around and we could qualify for events, to have pictures and, you know, just have his complete passion and dream about the business, and just totally bought into the mission of changing people's lives, you know, country by country, city by city, and just get that passion for the business. So when I actually understood the marketing plan, to be honest, for the first year, we did a bit of retail. And the beginning of 1996, we went to a training, and a guy called Gary de Brabander was there, and he really touched my heart when he was talking about time with his kids. And that was the one thing that I didn't have. So made a decision to do the business. There's a few pics from the 90s when we got started. And we were so privileged. You know, we had Leon Weisbein, we had Alan Lorenz, we had Jim Rohn, everybody coming to South Africa to come and help us train as the country was very new. So we really got that big picture. And Elsa myself was very privileged because Alan really took it upon himself to show us the marketing plan. And I got so excited, as I said, I couldn't sleep for 3 days when I actually really understood it. And in those days, it was get people on the product, show them the big picture. And we were very much business driven, you know, so it was never just around the products. And I think we do an absolute fantastic service nowadays with, you know, looking after our customers. But in a way, we're not presenting the business opportunity and that bigger picture enough. People need this business. And we were really just, as I say, excited at every meeting, every shake party, everywhere we went. We would explain the marketing plan right up to press team. The paper, we would use, you know, there was no social media. There was no internet. So everything was live. It was either a shake party or an HOM. And we would draw the marketing plan. We would but so almanac in English. We would draw it on the back of a piece of paper, you know. What is it, man? Said what? And then we won't have enough paper. A calendar. And then we won't have enough paper. We'd actually draw it right off the paper that the people can understand going to press team. So it was such really exciting times. This picture at the bottom here, at that stage, there was only 5 Chairman's Club in the world. And we had to do 17,500 volume points for this picture. I mean, here I am with Susan Peterson and her husband, Peter, but I mean, they were number 1 for many years. Alan, Leon Weisbein, Marcus Lehmann. So these pictures, as I say, is like so old. Look at Karen there in the middle. We are youngsters. I think she was 29 or something like that. So we really had precious times, and we always went for the qualifications. Right at the bottom there, we on the big red boats in 1997, 1998, and that really started building our business. So using the promotions and working with your team to really have that lifestyle, to go to the events. And that's all we did. For 4 years, we did shake parties, HIMs, and went to the event. It was not negotiable. If there was a party qualification, we would go. It was always like not negotiable. So just like Belle said, you never know which event it is that gets you that one sentence that changes everything for you. So this is just a few picks from last year. We, had lots of events, and then often we would tie an extra promotion on top of the event. So in the February LDW, we had a limo ride. People had to qualify for the party to get the limo ride. And I think that really was a big part of growth in our team last year. People really want to get that lifestyle. So again, well done to sURETHA and everybody that had amazing growth in their business last year. A lot of Amari, great leader, and also building a lot of new business in your team. So super proud of you. We also tie in a bit of H&F, with it. We had a special event to go to the Acres of Love. But I think one of the most important tips I can give is that you find a way to work that makes you feel passionate about what you do. So, and specifically, around shake parties, pamper parties, I still enjoy that. I'm better in front of people than I am with social media, but I also need to change my mindset about social media, because we can do both. And if you say you're not good with person to person, you are. You can get in front of people, just love them, give them attention, and just like Bella said, find out more about them. Don't talk Herbalife immediately. Life, and have an interest in them, and then you can offer a solution. And then obviously one of my big things is the challenges. I love the challenges, love helping customers get amazing results. I'm so passionate about it. And to have that relationship with the person that they're never going to leave you. They will always be, you are their coach. You are the one that's going to help them. So yeah, as I said, having the team events, we had a few team events last year that really worked really well. But again, whatever promotion there is, whatever event is announced, you are the one that's going to determine how many people are you going to have there. And if you really drive those, you can have a consistent growth in your business. So in the beginning of last year, January, when they launched the vacation, the previous year I didn't qualify. I was crying very hard. Belle, just like you, I didn't qualify. I was watching Amari and everybody's pictures as they were having vacation, and I was a bit gnawed on my side. So in January, decided this is it. So this year, not negotiable. It doesn't matter. Just really building on personal volume, doing an average of, started with 4, 5, 6 throughout the year, and really driving a lot of retail. Had a few new supervisors, not enough. So this year it's a big one. We really want to build on the supervisors, and we're so excited that the promotion this year is on how many new supervisors you bring. You're going to get 3,000 bonus points for each one. So that is going to be a huge one. So proud of 8 of us going on vacation on the cruise. It's going to be so much fun with a whole lot of you coming with. So well done for you. Super, super excited for that. Oh my word, we're already at 9 o'clock. And then sURETHA and myself also off to go with you to Croatia, Belle. And just as a last, over the 30 years, sometimes you're going to go through tough times. Sometimes you lose some people in your team that they lose their dreams. Don't ever let somebody steal your dream for you. You've got to get clear about what it is and get passionate about what you can get from this opportunity. And you've got to believe in yourself. That is probably the most important thing. And to keep your belief, you have to go to the events. There is nowhere else where you can fill your cup, like Jim Rohn says, so that you can continue to pour out to others. And the events is just the place. And if I look at reward and all the wonderful memories and experiences that we've been able to have over the 30 years. I was able to take my 87-year-old mom, it's emotional, on a cruise, and she loved it. It was our only time ever overseas, and Herbalife has allowed us to do that. I've taken all the kids on different vacations. They all got their chance to come with on a cruise, on a vacation overseas, on a, all the wonderful events the company creates for us. Going to Turkey was probably one of the highlights. I love Greece. I love the Greek islands. Santorini is my heart place. Paris was beautiful. I took my son Henry there. And 2 years ago, I was able to fulfill a dream. I always wanted to have a beach house close to the beach. And so now I work between Cape Town and Mumbai. I have this beautiful, gorgeous house. It's not a mansion, but it's big enough. I just love it. It's such a positive energy. And for me, that was an absolute dream come true. So all I'm just saying, it's so worth it. And I have a few points, but I think I've pretty much covered most of them. And it's very close to what Belle also said. Number one is always, you have to decide. You have to get serious, and you have to decide that I'm going to do this until. We worked our butts off for 4 years to President's team, and it was absolute focus. But the time spent was so worth it. Results on the products, know the marketing plan, get clear about your goals, and set a 90-day plan. Promotions are everything in my mind. That is what's driving our business. And get clarity on and find a way that you're going to do your daily activities, whatever it is that you choose. Be proactive against, you've heard it everywhere, qualify for everything. But the biggest one is work on yourself and your own belief system. And so thank you. Jim Rohn says success is the result of nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So I'm going to stop the share. Thank you, guys. Belle, donkey. Yay, is amazing. And I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you to the team. We love you. We appreciate you, all of you. And we are so excited to be part of this amazing company. And I know 2024 is going to be 2020 more. And we're going to, get to those goals, and very excited to see you guys at the LDW. Not negotiable. So, and qualify for the party, already there. A few of us. So super excited. Thank you, sURETHA, also. Super proud of you. And in jou Engels is baie mooi, hoor. Ek is super trots op jou. Okay, guys, let's show hearts. Let's take a picture. And thank you. It was an hour, but I think it was an hour that was worth it. So thank you so much. I love you. Show some love and make a noise. Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I love you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.